you are only lacking what you have not given to yourself and to life. And so in a universe that is run with the law of cause and effect, you only reap what you have sown. So you only receive what you have first given. And so if life is a mirror reflecting back to you the content of your consciousness, what would happen when you start giving what you seem to be lacking in your life? Because when you start sowing something different, you will start reaping something new. Life will start giving to you something very different. Unfortunately, for a lot of us, we wait. We wait that life gives to us, the way that we receive, we wait that we get that goal, that thing, right? We wait that things happen, and then I'll feel happy, then I'll be good, then everything's gonna be okay, then I'll spend money, then I'll act, then I'll become, then I'll reciprocate. And we get this wrong because the act of receiving comes from first the act of giving. You can only have what you can give. And this is very well exemplified in the subject of money and abundance, right? People go into the scarcity mode. Well, what happens if I spend money and then I don't have enough, right? And so they hold back, and so they stop the flow. And so as you stop the flow and you no longer give abundance, you no longer circulate abundance, life, being a mirror, reflects the same to you and stops the flow to you. So we kind of block the flow, the stream of abundance coming our ways by our own doing. And we start to think, well, when I get the money, when I get the promotion, when something happens, then I'll pay, then I'll circulate, then I'll be abundant, then I'll celebrate. But again, we've got it wrong, because as long as you're not giving what you perceive to be lacking, what you want to receive, then you're automatically giving something else, right? So if you're giving lack, if you're giving scarcity, if you're giving doubt, if you're giving anger, if you're giving judgment, if you're giving continuously all those things, all those qualities, then what is it that life brings back to you? Because life is like an echo. What goes out comes back right back at you. So you are only lacking what you have not given. And this is a lesson that is very important to master, because what we project on the goals, the desires, the things that we want to create, achieve, and bring into our life, right? Whether it's a job, a promotion, a relationship, a car, a house, no matter the desire, we project those qualities, those elements that we haven't mastered between ourselves, and we project that on the external world, and then we become attached to that. Example, right? When I get the money, then I'll feel secure, I'll feel free, I'll feel worthy, right? When I get the job, when I perform well, when I get the car, the house, the thing or that, or the special partner in my life, then I'll feel loved, then I'll feel whole, then I'll feel at peace. Those are the qualities that we seek the most and that we project on people. So we only project on our external world those qualities we haven't mastered between ourselves, because what we perceive to be lacking, we seek and search in the external world. Does that make sense? So that person is gonna fill the hole, that job is gonna make me feel worthy, that money is gonna make me feel like I'm good enough and look at me people kind of thing, right? So we are only seeking what will make us, what will give us that thing that we seek. And it is often an emotional thing, an emotional feeling, a state. Okay? So then the question is this: instead of chasing, because in the act of chasing, in the act of projecting, then the quality is outside of me. Does that make sense? So often what we start to do is we become needy, we become anxious, we become obsessive, we become like too attached. Right? We give so much importance. We put things on a pedestal, and now we are afraid of losing it. We are afraid of not having it, right? It's the scarcity mind. So in the process of all of this, we're giving that scarcity, we're giving that energy, we're giving the doubt, we're giving all those things to life. And the result that we get back are a match to that. So you are only lacking what you're not giving. So the question is, what is it that I seek outside of me that's lacking between me, and how can I start giving that? And I'm going to give you an example of my own personal life, personal story. I used to chase success, money, material things in order to make myself feel good about myself, feel myself, feel worthy, feel good enough, feel, like better than others, right? It was this thing like, I need to always be working, always happy, successful, always have money, always, to feel that. And when business wasn't going well, when I didn't have enough, or when I had less than others, it would create a tremendous, the guilt, the shame, the insecurity, the anxiety, the doubt, feeling like I'm never gonna have enough, I'm never good enough, that inner critic. So as long as I had those little wins here and there, I get the rush of worthiness. But that fades, because soon after that, I'm back chasing something else. So I was always in that wheel of chasing, and I was always living, operating, giving from this place of unworthiness. And so my experience of life for a long time, what is just not enough, or it is just enough to get by, for a long time, that was the paradigm I was operating, because that was a direct reflection of how I saw myself and what I was giving to myself and to others. So when I saw other people having more, being more successful, having more money, all these type of things, I would feel envious, I would feel jealous, I would become judgmental, I would become, negative in a way. I wouldn't be seeing them as being worthy and, celebrating them and allowing them, giving them permission to have all the things they want. Right? There's that tightness, that contraction in me. So again, I am giving something that is mismatching what I actually desire. And life, being a mirror, was only echoing back to me more of the same, more of the same, more of the same. So the process here is to realize, okay, I haven't mastered that quality of unworthiness. I have insecurities, I have beliefs and emotions and things that have created this image of unworthiness and doubt between me. So the process of releasing that and starting to make myself feel worthy, know and own my own worthiness, I started giving to me, to myself, to be, to embody what I desired, what I craved the most. Now, can you see that when you start giving to yourself what you like the most, you no longer need to chase it from the people, validation and approval, and for the money and for the things, right? And all those things are okay, all those goals and desires are okay. But when you start to give that, all those things no longer feel like so important. You're no longer so needy, so desperate to have it, to be better than others, right? And so it completely changed your energy. It completely changed the paradigm from which you operate. And now what you start to send out is drastically different. Your energy is drastically different. And what comes back in, what echoes back in your life is drastically different. Now, you don't need those things to make you feel worthy anymore. I am worthy, therefore those things gravitate back to me, therefore those things chase me. So I hope this story makes sense, because it is so important to be able to notice what is it that I need to start giving to myself and to others in order for life, for the mirror, to start giving back to me, reflecting back to me the things I desire the most. Because you can no longer be judgmental and bad and toxic toward other people and then expecting them to be loving, right? It's like going into a very conditional relationship. When you do this, then I'll be loving, nice to you. Does that make sense? So again, you're misgiving. You're only giving something and receiving the same contraction back. So as long as you are envious, jealous, judgmental, bitter toward others, you are inviting that back into you through your own inner critic, but also through your own experiences. And so it becomes a never-ending cycle of perpetuation, because what you sow, you will reap. So my question for you is this: what is it that you're seeking the most? Look at your goal, look at your desire, look at what you give so much importance right now, what you are chasing so much right now, what the number one target that is in your mind, in your life right now, right? And ask yourself, getting there, how would that make me feel? What would that do for me? And often it's a one word. It's like, yeah, I'll feel good about myself. I'll feel free. I'll feel secure. I'll feel like at peace. I'll feel like healthy. I'll feel like free. I'll feel like whatever it might be, right? And then ask yourself, how can I start giving this to myself in my life and to others, right? When you start giving something differently, for example, around money. You know, you start treating money differently, you start treating people with money differently, you start spending money differently, you start circulating money differently, you start giving different thoughts in your mind about money, your abilities, and so on. There are so many different ways to give, right? It doesn't need to be always like physical. It can be in your thought, it can be emotional, it can be through a habit, it can be in so many different ways depending on what you're working on. But ask yourself, how can I start giving what I need the most to myself and to the world first, and then look at how it will come back to you. Instead of being so focused on having your own goals met, start noticing what are people's goals, what is it that is important to them, and start meeting other people's needs, and you will see how this comes back right to you. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Thank you for watching this video, guys. And as always, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'll see you next time. Be well.